So a consent agenda is just a way for us to try to save some time and shorten up the meeting. And so we have items that we don't think need a lot of discussion. There's not a public hearing associated with them, that kind of thing. And so we can put them all together and handle them in a single motion instead of taking up each one and getting a second and discussion and so on. So on this one we have 3 items. One is to handle minutes from a previous meeting. One is to adopt a pay scale and position definition policy for the city. That's something we've needed for a while and finally getting that done. And the third is a sort of a pro forma item to appoint our prosecuting attorney, who's also our city attorney, to allow him to perform certain functions for us. So we've begun to experiment with the consent agenda a little bit, and we'll continue to do that and try to save ourselves some time. So this is another big step in our evolution of planning and directing the city. Of course, all the things that we do as a city ultimately lead up to economic development. And so this is a plan to guide that whole process as to what kind and where do we want certain kinds of economic development. How do we go out and find the kinds of businesses and other organizations that we really want to attract to the city. And so we've hired a consultant to help us think through that and put a plan in place that we can follow for a lot of years to come. So this is actually an item that the county has taken up. You probably heard about it in the news over the last few months. And they're about to adopt, we believe, and so we're getting the process started to adopt something similar for ourselves. First, because we think it's a good idea. It's sort of modeled after something we've already done in extended stay hotels, requiring some extra safety measures and video surveillance among them. But also because we don't want to be next door to DeKalb County if they adopt an ordinance and us not have one. So we're kind of running on a parallel path to adopt something similar in the way of video surveillance at convenience stores. I also want to invite everybody out. We have lots of ribbon cuttings and new things happening all the time, but one in particular on August the 20th at the Tucker Nature Preserve, which if you haven't heard of it, not familiar with it, it's on Lawrenceville Highway around the corner from the Walmart near the DeKalb Tucker Police Precinct. August 20th we'll have a ribbon cutting on the bee habitat there. There's an educational display and we actually have hives and so on. You'll be able to see the whole process there. So we invite you to come out that day and enjoy some community time together.